Hello, how are you doing? This is Teshwa Jogona here. Thank you so much for your continued support. And I know this might be a little bit a bit late, but they say never, better late than never. So we will still talk about it. And this happened a few weeks ago. It happened a few weeks ago, and it was about a nurse who was sentenced to 3 years in prison for leaving a 10-week old baby alone, and she went for a shift. Yeah. So by the time she came back for a shift, and you can imagine, most nursing shifts are at least 12 hours. Yeah. If it's not a short day, then it's at least 12 hours. 12 hours around there. So by the time she came back, the baby was unconscious, and she called emergency department, and anyway, the baby passed on. It is unfortunate and very sad that this happened to a 10-week-old baby, because 10 week, it's not even 3 months yet. Yeah. And as a mom, I wouldn't want to be the person to judge the lady, because what comes first in your mind when you hear such a thing is, was the mom okay? What could have led her to make that decision to leave a 10-week-old in the house alone to go for a shift? Was she mentally okay? Yeah, those are the questions that come into most people's mind when you hear of such a thing. Was she struggling with her mental health? Was she broke? Was she financially in a very bad situation? But even so, how did she end up making such a decision? Did she not have someone in place to help, even if it's not in the same house, but probably somewhere? Anyway, a lot of questions comes into my mind, but this is what I would like to just say, to say about it. It is important that people realize that more so, our brothers and sisters that have joined UK the last 3 years or 4 years, or the last 2 years, or you joined with COS, or you're just coming to the UK, or you are a few months old in the UK. It is important to know that children can put you in real troubles in the UK. And therefore, it is important, even if you're a parent, even before you decide to bring your children, just because you've gotten the job abroad, it is important to make the right decision for your child. There is NSPCC, yeah, I guess so. I used to work with children a long time ago, so I have a background of them, and I know even a child that is 12 years, there's so many hours you can leave them. Yeah, you're not supposed to leave them overnight. 12 years old, you're not supposed to leave them overnight. The thing is, there is no specific age limit in the UK that you're told, okay, your child is 10, 11, 12, you can now leave them alone. They say it all depends with your child maturity. Because a child who is 12-year-old, you can find a child who is 12-year-old, and they will come from school, come in the house, and wait for their parent, maybe 1, 2, 3 hours before their parent arrive, and they're okay. But you might find a child who is the same age, but they are irresponsible. They're not mature enough to be left alone. The decisions that they make, they're not good. Yeah, to be left alone. They can be a danger to themselves and to even others. So that is why there is no age limit as to when you should leave your child alone. So I'm just thinking, if you're not even allowed, even if a 12-year-old, if you read it through, you're not allowed to leave them overnight by themselves. Now I'm here thinking, how would you get to that point of leaving a 10-week one for a whole shift? Yeah. So what I want to say is, make the right decisions. The people that I speak to on my DM, the ones that they tell me, oh, Tesh, I've found a job, can I come with my child? One thing I always tell them is, if you are coming here, it is wise if you don't have family, and even if you have family, here everyone is minding their own business. So unless you have discussed that fully with the family member you're coming to meet here, and they're happy to help you with the childcare, you should just plan childcare alone. Like, you should just have your plans. You should know what you're doing with your children. And that is, if it takes leaving your child for at least 6 months back home, you come and survey your area, know where the schools are, know what kind of childcare is there. Will you have friends that you can help each other with? Do you have after school activities? What age is your child? So what kind of childcare do you need? Because if it is a school going, what you might need is after school or breakfast club. You know, such kind of things is the things that you need to come and first learn. I also advise parents or people that are coming with children or have children and they're coming to work in the UK. If you have your other partner, which is if you're married or you're coming with your husband or wife, it is still also very important that the person that without the COS should be the flexible one. Yeah, so that if, for example, it is the man who is a dependent, it is important to know that when you come here, you will have to adjust a little bit, and meaning that you are the flexible parent. So do not compete, find a common ground so that you don't feel like you're inferior, and do not compete to work as many shifts or like the person that has the COS, or like the person, you know, like find a common ground, because your child will need someone. Yeah, your child will need that stable ground. And more so if you're coming to work in healthcare sector, it is very, very tricky. The hours are long and it is very tiresome. So you can imagine that if you do not have that parent that is a bit stable, your child might end up even becoming a problem, to a point that you're getting calls from school or even social services are visiting you. So children is a big factor to consider when you are moving to the UK to work. And it's more of childcare. So don't just think because maybe you are 8-year-old, you are able to leave them and tell them, oh, when you come in, the keys are under the doormat outside. Just come in and just warm your food, or your food will be on the table. That does not work here. Yeah, it does not work. You have to really know how much, you have to really have good understanding of how your child works, how disciplined they are, how responsible they are, before you can even actually leave them for 1 hour for you to go shopping. Yeah.